how do you manage the tension between maxing out and burning out?
Yeah, I think part of that's experience. I've like physically in training, I've kind of learned what the warning signs are, and I, know how to manage it now. I think in life, one of the things that I've embraced a little bit more is people talk about balance a lot. And I think over the course of your life, it's important to be balanced. But I think that looks different in different seasons, right? Like when Dave tells people rice and beans, beans and rice, like we're not going out to eat, we're paying off all the debt, right? Like being like gazelle focus, that's not balanced, right? But by doing that, you can have more balance later, right? Or like right now, like I love to go fishing. I used to love competition pistol shooting. I used to love playing fantasy football. I don't do those things anymore. Not because I don't love those things, but because it's like, all right, I have 2 kids, one of whom is special needs. I've got multiple businesses that I'm owner or co-owner of. I like to do podcasts. I'm going to start my own podcast. I want to write another book at some point, go through a major publisher and do that. And putting out content. And I'm trying to still compete in powerlifting. Like most people do one of these things,
Right, yeah.
And so it's like, all right, I don't want to like not ever go fishing again, but it's okay if I don't do it for the next 5 years, or if I do it sparingly for the next 5 years, right? Like, because at some point I'm going to be able to step back away from my businesses a little bit. I'm going to be able to, like, the kids will be graduated. I probably at some point will be like, done with powerlifting. Although the guy who broke my world squat record did it when he was 57 years old.
Oh boy.
David Ricks, his nickname.
There's no chance you're getting out now.
His nickname is Superman. So I just, when it happened, I was 34 when he did it. I got 23 years to catch him, But I assume at some point that I won't have that deep burning fire to do that anymore. And I'll be able, and that I can do those things again, And so I think a lot of people feel really pressured to do all the things at once, right? And yeah, it's going to be hard to be a good parent and see your friends a lot and exercise and start a business and go back to school. And like, hey, sometimes it's like you can take these things in sections.
You said something I thought was really deep. I want to go back to it really quick because you said there were some signs in your body. Mm-hmm. When I asked you, how do you balance that maxing out, get the max performance, but not blow out the muscle, or and we're talking to people right now that are worried about burnout or they're feeling maybe burnout. You said there were signs. Was it pain? Was it fatigue? Was it a combination? I think that's really transferable.
Yeah, to both of those. Also looking at performance, starting to go down.
So looking at the measurements, okay.
But I think that translates to other things too. The warning signs, I feel anxious. Well, why are you anxious? Well, you have financial distress, or you have relationship problems, or you have, any number of things, or you're out of shape, or it could be any number of things, but you're probably not anxious for no reason, right? Like your body is trying to tell you something. And so I think when it comes to work or, relationships, whatever, it's like, yeah, like if you're feeling that way, it's probably time to get curious about that. And I'll never forget, like, a few years ago, I left a very stressful relationship, and it's not a knock on my former partner because it wasn't a good relationship for her either. But I remembered like getting out of that, and I got like stronger in the gym noticeably, like pretty quickly. And I'm like, man, why? Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, my body's not vibrating all the time. I'm not anxious all the time. My body's not spending so much energy on this all the time. Like I've got room for other stuff.